Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of Rambling Teatime here with Chris and Kim.
Hello, hello.
How you doing, Kim?
I'm doing great. How are you, Chris?
Feeling a little bit under the weather, but other than that, I'm doing okay.
How under the weather?
Oh no, just a little cold. Not the big bad
You're
COVID-19.
cold right now.
No, just a cold in my throat,
Oh, you
like a
have a
throat cold.
cold.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were cold.
No,
I'm like,
I'm not cold.
I'm dying of the heat.
Yeah, the heat is terrible this time of the year. I can't wait for it to get back to the cold months. It's not great. I love summer, but I hate the heat. And it's getting hotter each year, so each year becomes the coldest summer
You know what I
that
hate the
I've had.
most relating to the heat?
Hmm.
It's people knowing that we're from an island and then saying, oh, they love the heat. It's like, I only happen to be born there.
Yeah,
Does not
yeah.
mean that I like it. I may be accustomed to certain temperatures, but also
I'm on an
there's so many
island.
different things that they don't take into account, like the wind that blows or the humidity.
Yes. Or the
Those
fact
things
that
are so important.
or the fact that beaches are everywhere that you can literally get to from
Exactly.
anywhere.
We're not, it's a small island and it's in the Atlantic. So it's not, land bound by anything either.
Yeah.
So when they say, when people say that you like it, I just go,
I just happen to have
you know
the
nothing.
circumstances to have been born someplace in where it's hot. But at the same time, that does not mean that I love the heat. And it's
Exactly.
getting hotter and hotter
Everywhere.
each day everywhere. So,
Exactly.
like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Circumstances of where you're born don't mean you obviously like the place.
I definitely don't like the temperature.
Yeah.
I've never been a heat loving person.
I don't mind the sun. I just don't like when it's shooting its radiation straight through my window, super hard into
Yeah.
my soul,
I
burning and cooking
prefer
my insides.
exactly. It's like hell opened, you know? I prefer 70, mid 70s and below.
So the colder months of the year.
Why do we always complain about the temperature? Anyhow, that's what it means to be human, to
Yes,
complain about the
to
temperature.
complain about the temperature. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what life is.
Yes.
It's true
Uh,
though. Listen,
uh,
there's a thing.
hmm.
When it's hot, humans complain about how hot it is and they want it to be cold. When it's cold, humans complain about how cold it is, they want it to be warmer. It's like you had what you wanted at a certain time.
Okay, think about it. Which do you prefer? Would you prefer to be hot and try to get cool? Or would you prefer to be cold and try to get warm?
Okay, so I always say this. It's always cold to warm for me. You want to know
Mm,
why? You can only take off so much clothing. Have I not said this before?
maybe.
You cannot take off your skin and separate your muscles from your tendons and your bones and hang them up. If you could, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
I think I would do it every day of summer.
Uh, yeah.
But with the cool, you can keep putting on layers, or hide in
Okay.
front of the heater or whatever it is, cuddle up underneath 1,000 elephants. You get what I'm saying?
I get
You
what you're
can
saying.
you can properly make yourself warmer when it's cold, but
Mm.
when it is hot, it's hella hard to get cold.
I mean, what about AC
Yeah,
and
AC
fans and
exists,
just being
but
naked?
those things, don't you ever feel at a certain point when it's so hot and they don't work? It's
Yes.
like just blowing hot air. I mean, I'm like, I am literally probably dying faster than any time I have ever died. You understand?
Okay.
Right now, Christopher, in my folds, because I have some folds of my stomach, I
Oh
can feel
God.
the sweat dripping
Stop.
down. My God.
And we're drinking hot tea as well.
Why haven't we been drinking cold tea? I don't understand what is wrong with us.
I don't know. Speaking of tea, what is this that we're drinking?
The tea that we're drinking is by a brand called Tea Monk Global. It's
Tea
this
monk.
thing
Mm.
called, it's a spearmint.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Kozan Spearmint Green Tea. I don't dislike it. However,
It's a little bit on the weak side, I find.
yeah. So it's really great in fragrance. I like
It
the
smells
scent.
nice.
It
Yeah.
smells nice. It smells sweet. I can even smell like the green tea, like roastedness about it
Mm-hmm.
as well. For me, I don't know why it smells like bubble gum in certain
Okay,
whiffs.
I don't smell that.
Anyhow, um, but the taste
This
is
is
kind of it's a really like disappearing kind
yes.
of
It
spearmint,
isn't strong at all. It's very
non-existence even.
yeah. It's it's fine, unfortunately, but it's the taste. The taste isn't there.
It's only okay.
Mm.
And I wouldn't even recommend it still if you wanted a weak spearmint. I feel like it's weaker than
Yeah, it's
that.
too weak.
No, I have a confession to make.
What is your confession?
So I purchased this tea. This is one of the teas that I specifically purchased online,
Uh huh.
okay, from Amazon.
Yeah.
And the packaging date is many moons ago. You know, many moons ago it was packaged.
So you're
So I
saying that it
wonder,
weakened over time?
yeah, what do you think?
I don't know. I've had tea that's been packaged a while before I opened the box
And
or
it was
whatever, and it
still
was still good.
right. So that's why, and even the package of these, I feel like they're in a relatively, what do you
Some
call
good
it? Nothing
packaging.
can get in.
Exactly.
So,
It or maybe it just got a weak. Maybe it was already a weak tea and it just got weaker over time.
well, okay. Yeah. I feel like it's too metal, too subtle.
Yeah.
There's practically no spearmint there.
Yes. No spearmint. 0 out of 10.
I mean,
Yes.
well, we should try it again.
I am trying it right now.
Packaged, not
I don't.
many
I don't
moons
know.
ago.
I don't really think maybe the pattern. Okay, that'll be fair. Maybe
Should
the
I tell you which moon ago?
how many moons ago?
18.
Months ago?
No,
Years ago?
no. 2018.
Oh, okay, 2 years ago. And did you buy this from like the original like
I bought this from Amazon,
oh okay.
everybody's favorite online
Maybe you
market.
should have bought it from the actual well, unless
Yeah,
that was their
yeah.
store or
I should
something.
buy it from their actual website.
Mm. Oh well. This is fine. It's passable. It probably goes well with cake.
It's okay. It's really just okay, and it's on the lower side of okay. Anyway, let's stop talking about the tea.
Okay.
Christopher, what have you been doing recently?
Recently. Recently. What have I
Recently,
been doing
recently.
recently? Hmm.
Actually, recently we watched
Oh no.
Debris.
Oh my
We
goodness.
finished Debris
I
finally.
understand why that show got cancelled.
There's so many things that are really worse than that was
It
though.
was, but at the same time, it kind of just stopped. It the moment it hit halfway point, it's like they either ran out of budget writing, or the people just gave up on their end. And it was such a shame too because it started so strong,
It did start well.
and then you were like, oh, I was talking about how this reminds me of Fringe.
Right.
And then we found out that apparently either showrunner or writer or whatever was the same person who
Right.
did Fringe. And I was like, okay, I liked Fringe.
We
I
have
told,
hope for this
yeah,
series,
I
is what we
told
were
you how good
thinking.
Fringe was.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, cool, good. I'm in. Right? Last thing that they did with the Fringe was fantastic. It was probably one of my most favorite sci-fi things that ran for a bit and ended pretty good in my opinion. Not a
I
lot of things.
still haven't watched it, but
I
I will. I
You
will. I
will
will.
see the similarities to this show when you watch Fringe,
Hmm.
and especially with the character dynamics, with the whole one is the cop. Well, in the Debris, both of them are cops, but one of them has the scientist father. They help one another. The whole character dynamic thing that they tried to do in Debris is done way better in Fringe. The same weird science stuff that's going on in Fringe is probably a little bit more wacky, but not wacky wacky. Here in Debris, it's more straightforward. Alien tech crashes on Earth.
Right.
All the different governments are rushing to try to get control of it. The debris itself also causes weird effects on people. And what I liked about debris was how most of it wasn't all about, oh, this government has this piece of the technology. That was in the background for the most of it. And but the overall how this technology is just affecting normal people going
Right.
about their day and trying to figure out how to help them. I like that part of the show. I
So
really
did
thought
I.
that was really well done.
I like the aspect of the sci-fi part of it, of the debris already being like established on
Yes.
Earth, and
Yeah.
there being actual
All
organizations.
having pieces already documenting it.
Exactly. And specifically working towards, finding out what is going
Hmm.
on and stuff like that. That part I like because
Yeah.
it felt like we were dropped in a good place, actually.
Yeah, it didn't feel
Didn't
we
it?
weren't.
Something that was already had
Yes.
substance.
Yeah, it wasn't like here's the beginning and here's all the debris crashing on Earth right now and we're gonna start from the beginning. It was like no, it's already been happening and it seems like it has probably been years or
Right.
maybe not or at least in months, but it seems like it has been years since the debris originally landed and they're still collecting pieces all around the world and different they are like okay there was this piece that did so and so and so and so can we use that to help these people here in this situation
Right.
that I liked.
And you didn't like.
I did not like the inclusion really of for the moment the plot super focused back around to I guess this is like a spoiler but whatever.
It's fine.
The what's her name,
Fanola.
Finola, her father being alive and
Hmm.
him coming back into the story and everything, it kind of lost interest to me.
I don't think from the beginning, maybe it wasn't like that, but it's the fact that in every episode, it felt like it always came back to that for her.
Yeah.
My father this, my father that, wah
Blah blah
wah,
blah blah
crying,
blah.
whining, my dad, my dad, my dad.
We
It was
get it.
like we understand. We
Mm-hmm.
all had dads or something. You know what I mean? It's like,
Well,
calm
okay.
down.
We all have that.
We all have dads, otherwise we wouldn't be here, even if we never met our dad. But it just was kind of always in our faces about her dad
Yeah,
and the
because he
issues and
was
him
he
being
was the
alive and him
smartest
being the
person. Blah blah
scientist.
blah.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, I'm gonna talk about Fringe. I try not to spoil too much about Fringe. The dad character in Fringe is there from the beginning
Hmm.
because he's also it's the three. Those are the three main characters:
The
the dad
two.
character, the son of the dad character, and our cop lady.
Hmm.
Those are the three central characters of Fringe, and they're integral to the entire story all throughout the show.
Okay.
Right? The fact that her dad felt kind of like a MacGuffin, right? And we didn't really get to learn about him until like a third or 2/3 into the show, and then
Yeah.
when he showed up, he was it just felt badly paced, and everything good about the episodes where how the debris is affecting people, and they're slowly getting more and more debris each time, and they have the background plot with all the different governments and different
Right.
people, and I and then that the ending.
You called it with the ending about the
Yeah,
dad.
yeah. I was like, from the moment he showed up, I was like, yeah, the dad is the bad guy. He straight up, he probably is the person who runs the organization that's stealing all the extra tech from everywhere around the world with those teleporting guys and whatnot.
I have one question that still sticks with me
Which is
from
it?
it. Nothing else really sticks with me,
What?
but the one question I have is, do you remember at the very end when the dad and the three other guys get inside the vehicle and they drive off?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like this foggy being walking down the side of the road, and they all
Yeah.
see it,
And they're like,
and
what
no
the
one
hell?
says anything. It's the foggy being that the dad has seen before.
Yeah, and at first it was like, is he seeing that? Is that
No,
an
but
enemy?
we saw that they saw it.
Yeah, yeah.
So what?
What the fuck was that?
Exactly. Exactly. They looked at it,
I just
and
kept
then
driving.
exa what? I'm interested in whatever that is.
Then the ending was weird because it was the other guys that I don't know which organization they
I
were
thought
working
he
for.
was for, I mean, I don't know about the guy who was like great grandfather or whatever his name is, but the guy, the British one, wasn't he working with
The
the
British government.
MI6?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But they had a version of Finola in the end, in like the stasis thing that they originally got. I'll say the one episode I really enjoyed. Well, I guess it's 2 episodes, and I think they probably stretched it a bit too long. Was the whole time travel parallel
Parallel universe.
universe
Yeah, yeah.
brother and sister thing,
Yeah, yeah.
where they kept jumping to get back to their original universe.
Yeah. I like that one as
But I
well.
called that as well because it was the most basic
No,
thing
I'm
in
the
the
one who
first.
called
Oh,
it.
you called it right in the first episode because they stretched this gimmick to 2 episodes because they realized that they ain't have much else good
That
after
must
this
be
point.
it because I'm just so in tune with time
Hmm.
travel thingies that I know what needs to be done. I watched enough Doctor Who to know that the both of them had to do it
Had to
at the
jump
same
at the same
time.
time. Yeah, that was the
Um,
most basic thing. And
yeah.
then they continued. It was good though. It was
I
good when they
like
kept
they
showing
did
the
it
different people,
as right, right.
the
Those
different
parts
loops
came
and
in
whatnot.
and I guess they were supposed to be comedic
It felt like
for
comedic,
us.
but yeah, it felt comedic, but I also felt it was good. It was overall cool parallel universe time travel gimmick. Cool. It was done well, even though the solution was
Very
easily figured out
simple.
from the
Yeah.
beginning. And then after that, the episodes
What was the
super
other
focused. So
episode you liked? You said you liked one, two.
I like the one with the whole what was it? I think the one with the memories of the kid who came back that the mother brought back. It was one of the earlier
Was it
episodes.
the first episode?
Maybe it was the first episode, but it was the memories like of her dead son,
Yeah, yeah.
and the debris had become kind of like a
Yeah.
AI that was wandering and reenacting the memories of the kid and possessing people to be like their mother or whatever. I thought that was cool. I wish, I wish it kind of like I wish we got more about the debris itself because later on they're like the debris is learning from us, and then the what's his face the sergeant the
What?
Finola's partner
Oh my
Because
God.
remember the debris started to like talk with him using his memories from when he was in like in Afghanistan or
What is
whatnot.
his name?
I know, right?
Is it Brandon?
No, was it? I don't remember.
Wow.
I'm so
This
sorry.
is so poor.
When he's probably like one of the most interesting characters in the show too. If the whole betrayal and
Danny?
trying, I don't know. Remember, I seriously, I'm so bad. That is. Anyways, I liked his whole interaction, the debris trying to speak and learn about them, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that was how the season ended. In that we are learning about the debris, but the debris is also learning about us.
Yeah, I would have preferred that to the ending that we did get. It
Yes.
was really horrible. That last
Yeah.
episode where the people all went to the thing and it was all like Doctor Who falling off the thing on the New Year's Day, and I was like, "Hey, I've seen this before." Um, and it was really when I saw that episode, I thought they didn't have a budget because the whole episode was like in these
Quarry.
boulders.
And I made a joke
Uh,
about how it reminded me of episodes of the Power Ranger. Whenever they would transform or whatever, it would always be like in an empty quarry, and that's where the fight would take
for some
place.
reason.
Because
Um,
you don't gotta pay costs for like the
Renting a
filming in a
parking lot or
goddamn
something else.
no deserty wasteland.
I
So
guess so. It was pretty bad to watch that last episode though,
yeah,
because it felt like it dragged on for a long
it
time.
dragged on
And
way
then
too long.
at the end when we found out that it was the dad,
I was like,
it
yeah, we
was it,
know.
it was cringy and it's like yeah, we know. And when what's his name, whose name we can't remember, that's so bad.
Cop guy.
Did he get shot or something? No, they did the whole thing to wipe the people's memories, and his memories didn't get wiped because he's all in tune with the debris.
Yes.
It was all cringe, that whole scene, really. Everything was very cringy in that episode.
It was cringe.
Wasn't it? It was for me.
Mm.
I looked at it the whole time like this.
Yeah. There
Just,
was
that's how I
yeah, just
felt.
like
It's like, it's like, am I watching this right now? Why
yeah.
am I doing that to myself?
Like that's why I said that if you're interested to like do sci-fi stuff and this, watch French.
I will watch
It's
French.
so much better. And actually has 5 seasons
Yeah.
and ends good. Like the show ends nice and good, and I'm like, yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do a short seasons, a couple seasons run of a sci-fi show with good writing and fun characters. You know,
Yeah.
there's still some stuff that's like meh in it, but overall, stuck its landing.
Overall, with debris,
Overall,
it
I
got
hated the ending.
boring towards the end.
Yeah, if they had changed the last couple of episodes, I probably would have ended it differently because the way how even if that was supposed to be the ending, that ending was that's a sequel bait ending, right? They ended. It didn't answer a lot of questions. It just brought up more, and it just
Maybe they
petered
didn't know
out.
they were getting canceled before that.
Probably, but at the same time, if you know you can get canceled, at least end the thing without being like, "Hey, sequel bait, this is terrible." This is the worst way you could end anything without knowing if it's going to sell or do good. Is just end it with, "We'll continue in chapter in the next book." You know that type of crap.
Hmm.
That's how mangas end and get axed the next. But yeah.
Anyhow, what else have you been doing?
What else have I been doing? You know I've started to learn Japanese.
I know, it's so great. How do you
Uh,
like it? How do you not like it?
I Hiragana and katakana make sense. Kanji can go and die in a
It's,
fire.
are you sure
Katakana I also
that's how you feel?
I, s-
I know, okay, what do you feel about katakana? Because I know you feel very strongly about that. Tell
Okay.
us how you feel.
For those who don't know, there are three writing scripts in Japanese, right? I'm correct?
Yes, three writing systems.
Writing systems. Okay. Katakana is a stopgap system created by the Japanese for loan words from other languages. Like say coffee. Coffee
It's
is
kohi.
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 And even though they know what it is, because of the restrictions of the Japanese language, certain letters they don't have. Like L and R is gets twisted and whatnot for some reason. So instead of creating symbols for those letters that they do not have, they do this weird thing where they just like bastardize it and they fucking say the word wrong. Like kohi is literally kohi, not coffee. Kohi.
I agree with you that they could have done fee because there is a
Because
way
there
to
is
make
a way to
S. You
make
make the S
F's.
with the foo
Oh,
and the small
and the issue
vowel.
also have the issue with like when they clearly have the vowel sound themselves,
Hmm.
but they don't use it in some certain situations. It's like, why do this? Why make this harder on yourself when you literally was one of the times where you have the vowel sound there that you can use. So, as an English speaker, learning katakana, it's like you're learning how to say these things worse.
Hmm.
That is how it. That's how
It's
it
true.
is.
It's
It
true.
is the more. It's like, and when you read katakana and you're like, and you figure out, oh, I understand what this is. This is television. This got television or some.
It's I don't think I've ever seen like the whole thing.
You
It's
know,
just terebi.
right?
Terebi.
Telebi, and not
Terebi.
V, not televi, not even just TV. You know, they could do that TV, but no, telebi. It's Telibi or something like that.
Well,
You know what I
it's
mean.
Terebi.
So I'm getting along to that. I know I've taken like a week or so off of it. I'm still trying. I'm still hiragana and katakana is where I'm at. I know you tried to help me go into kanji, but
Yeah,
kanji just completely is
that messed you up.
fucking messed me up because it's so much more. So I'm trying my best to get accustomed more to just katakana and hiragana to get those down. At least
Hmm.
get those down so I can at least read what the stuff is saying and then jump into kanji because kanji itself is what it say
What?
to become fluent in Japanese you need to know at least 2,000 kanji. That's on average. The average Japanese speaker knows at least
So
2,000.
those are just
I know.
vocabulary
I know.
words. Not all vocab will necessarily even
I
have
know.
kanji in it.
I know that too. I've played like Japanese stuff where it's just the katakana or the hiragana, and I can read that stuff now. Don't understand what everything is. I can read
Hmm.
that stuff, but the moment kanji shows up, I'm like, okay, it's gonna take a while because the little bit of kanji that I did learn, it was a little bit frustrating because the way how it was, you learn what it actually is. So you learn radicals. Radicals are parts of what build the kanji. Then you learn the names for those. Then you learn what it actually signifies. Then you learn like how to actually say it.
Right, so let me stop you. It's true that that's how you and I learned, and lots of other people who
Mm-hmm.
are not native
Yeah.
Japanese, but they don't actually learn radicals,
They just learn what it
which
is.
is probably not the best way to learn their own language. They even start out with kanji characters that are more
Complex.
difficult
Mm.
because it goes by a not familiarity, but the things that you see frequently in
Ah,
life.
I
Those are
got you.
kind of the things that you'll
Makes
see
sense.
first,
Yeah.
kind of when you're first learning in elementary school. you'll see the kanji that are like everyday kanji. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how complicated those are, and that's how it goes on. I think it's easier though as non-native speakers to
Mm.
learn the radical way. Because if you're just going into it the way that they do,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see these characters every day. You're not in an environment where you could see those every
Yeah.
day either. You understand? So I think it would be more difficult to approach it the same way that they do. That's why I like the whole radicals first as a build up,
I
you
get
know?
that. I also the one thing that also is probably the hardest thing for me is the mnemonics.
Right. And I
Creating
told you that you could create your own.
I know, but that is kind of hard, I guess.
I didn't do that. I know that I was never going to be one who would be like, oh, let me see. So the hat had a mouth on it and
Yeah.
it was on the ground. I was like, no, look, I can't try to make up the whole thing
Make
myself.
an
I
entire
just try to
story.
remember what they told me.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way for me.
When I was reading some other things, the guy who was his whole thing about mnemonics and creating them and whatnot, I was like, this seems very good for some people,
Hmm.
but and I know that apparently learning mnemonics is super integral to what a lot of the different kanji or whatever people are telling. It's like really the best way to do it, but it feels so random to me, you
They
know?
are random though,
I know
Chris.
they are, and I get that's probably the whole idea to help you remember, but it feels I feel I feel I feel completely out of my element, and trying to learn this way feels very, very strange to me.
Well, that's why you're taking this period off, right?
Yeah, I'm
To
still
figure out
doing.
how
I'm
you're
trying
going
to
to
still
approach it as
doing the
well.
real canon. I do what you do, put on a Japanese stream just to hear the words being spoken in like the news and
Right.
whatnot.
I didn't only want you to hear,
I
but I
know, but
also
I
want
want
you
to
to
see.
look.
I know. I watch.
Because even just right now, being
Seeing
able
the
to recognize the katakana and the
yes,
hiragana
yes, it's actually
is
very, very helpful.
exactly. Even if you just are able to see that it says aku or kyo,
Yeah, like I
it
can
doesn't
read out
matter
when I see
what
the.
it
I
is.
understand when I see katakana and I read it out. I was like, oh, okay, I know what that entire sentence might be about. Something about coffee or ketchup or something. I could pick it up what they're talking about, or at least I could read it. It's kind of like when I learned, was learning Korean, which is far easier.
Yeah, in my opinion, it is. I think
Far
it's the
easier because it's
easiest.
just
No,
one writing
if you're
system.
accustomed to what is our thing?
Arabic
We're English.
languages,
If you're accustomed to languages that use that
writing
writing system,
format. Korean is
then
so easy.
going like let's say a a character, a different kind of character formed alphabet,
Yes.
the easiest one is Korean in my opinion.
Yes,
Of
it
all the
is.
ones I have ever seen.
Yes. It still to this day, when I look at Korean text, I can tell what it says. I don't know what it is, but I can read what it is.
Yeah, I like it because it has proper consonants
Mm-hmm.
and vowels,
Yes.
and you can end things. It's not phonetic, is what I
Yeah.
want to say. It's not like Japanese where it's all like kind of systematic in that kind of way,
Mm-hmm.
but they're G's at the end, or to make like kang
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing, or there's proper LR sound kind of. They still
Yeah,
it's
still
still kind of
struggle.
weird, but it's still
At
better.
least there's an attempt there in the Korean language.
Yeah.
And I don't have to learn the mnemonics to figure out how to remember the kanji about the sun and the moon and the stars.
Well, they still have to learn, Koreans still have to learn kanji.
You get that, but
It's called
their
hanja, I
their
think.
writing system for the most part isn't 3 different things you have to juggle on a daily basis inside of your head.
Okay, well, it's not juggling to the people who
I
are new
get
to it,
that,
I feel.
Kimberly, and
Anyway,
I understand that to Japanese speakers or whatever, they know this language, so it's so much easier for them. I get that, but I'm still going to call out nonsense in like I feel the Nets, honestly, they could probably solve so much issues if they would if just combine and add to hiragana just the kanji and
I don't
figure it
think
out.
that's going to
It's
happen.
not.
So,
This system has existed for far too long, and like it's not gonna fall apart anytime soon, unfortunately. Like hell, you even told me that for a whole bunch of reasons they don't even know why certain stuff is. It's the way it is. It's just the way it
who
is.
said that?
When I was asking you why
No, 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 no.
certain
I
words or
told
things like
what you have got to be specific about this.
I can't remember all the specifics, but I was like, why they don't have certain like songs or whatever, and why don't they just add new ones to it or whatnot? And you're just like,
It
it's just
couldn't
the
be
way.
that I told you about that. It had to be something else. I don't know
Probably
what it is. I didn't do like the history of
of
the
the language,
language,
yeah.
and honestly, I don't plan to. Um, yeah.
So yeah, I've been trying to learn Japanese,
Instead,
and it's been a struggle.
how about you learn Turkish?
No, stop doing that. Whenever you did this when I was trying to learn Korean too, you're like, hey, you should learn this as well. I'm like, I can throw you off a roof
Anyhow, that's how I make my transition
into
into the show that I spent way too much time watching
is this
and took
the
up
one
all of my life.
this
Well, it
Turkish
didn't take up all
show
of my show.
about
It's Sen Çal Kapimi or Kapimi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's English translated to "You can knock on my door" or "You knock on my door."
this drama
Yes,
romance
it's a
thing?
rom-com drama. So I wrote down all the things that they
Oh
tried to do, and I just had
God.
to share it with you. Um,
Go ahead.
First, I want to explain that um there are 40 episodes in the first season, and I watch all of them. Each episode, though,
How
is
long is it?
2 hours long or
Jesus.
2 hours plus
This is a
15 minutes.
this is a
So I just
daytime
want to
TV.
say that I spent a lot of time
It sounds like you did.
burning my eyes. And
40.
it is shown, it is, you had said this to me, and then I went and checked it up, but it is shown in the afternoon.
Yes, it
It's like a
sounds
soap
like
opera,
it's
but it
soap
doesn't
opera.
feel like that when I watch it. You know how soap operas feel all dull and pasty?
Not all of them are dull and pasty.
Apparently. Okay, so let's get right into it.
Oh God.
And this is not a review. The show tries to do a lot of things. The
Okay.
characters are never resting. I mean, if they sleep and they are peaceful, that happens one night, and it'll never happen again for many,
So
many
there's
moons.
always some drama going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. The show doesn't let the characters rest, and I just can't with that. And I
And
have a
each
theory.
episode is 2 hours long.
I really don't think each episode needs to be that long, quite frankly, after watching it, right? Anyway, so here we go. Let's see. It starts out with a contract relationship between the male character, the main male, and the male female. The male female. The ML and the FL. Right?
Yeah.
It's a contract engagement.
Okay.
Okay. Not going to get into it because we've all seen that kind of thing.
So they're there for tax reasons, essentially.
Well, the guy, I don't even want to get into it, but let me
get into it. You get into it.
He wants to make his ex, who is getting married, jealous. And
Okay.
There we go.
That's so dumb.
So the female lead, her character is really kind and considerate of other people,
Okay.
and she's still tough though.
Gotcha.
Okay. And the male lead is like extremely cold and distant. You know, we've seen this matchup before, right?
So many different things.
Listen, this is every rom-com. Let's go.
Every drama show where the characters get together or they're forced together because, I get it. Continue.
Okay, so the male lead changes after being with the female lead.
Of course he does.
Okay.
Because he changed.
Exactly. The ex-girlfriend that he was with, she is extremely horrible human being, conniving, ugly personality person. Okay? That's all I have to say about her. The parents, the guardians, did disapprove at first, you know.
Who gives a shit?
Common kind of thing. No, I'm listing the things that are common.
Okay.
These are the trope, cliche things that the show did. The female lead is middle class.
Okay.
And the male lead is upper class.
There you go.
Do you see that all the time, right? Because the man always have to be the one.
Or sometimes it's the upper class lady and the poor class man who's come to work.
Later, it revealed later that she actually comes from money.
Okay.
She did not want it though because she hates her family. No. So she has a tragic backstory as well.
Of course.
And it turns out that their stories are actually probably linked together from in their past. You know, they have to do that. They do that.
Everybody is linked and knows everybody in the universe.
So annoying, my God.
I do hate that trope a lot.
I hate that. Listen, I don't know how to estimate how much I hate that. Every time that comes up that they might have known each other or their past might have been linked to their parents or whatever, I just go like, ugh.
Your dad was the drunk driver who killed my parents.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that, Chris. Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah.
I have. Or your dad was the one who burned down my house. I have.
We went to kindergarten together, and you said you would be my first love.
I have seen this, Christopher. I have. These are facts. Okay, moving on. Someone cheats. This is not the main lead or anything like that, but so
who cheats
someone
on who?
cheats.
Who cheats on who?
People cheat. Someone has a divorce.
Of course,
okay.
Yes.
Then someone's family is involved in the underground world. You know, there's always that someone.
Yeah, my brother.
Someone is poisoned. Someone is kidnapped.
Okay.
Someone was left at the altar. What else? Someone gets in a plane crash, and that same someone loses their memories.
This reminds me of old days of our lives, because that's exactly what happened. They got in a plane crash, and like 2 people from that plane crash, memories they forgot or were like changed.
Anyway.
Always plane crashes.
So then at this point, the show repeats itself with the same story, and the same evil people we were fighting before come back, and we have to deal with them again.
It's all in the first season.
We have all the love triangles, even the ones for comedic relief. I did not think they were really funny, because at this point, you know, I thought it was dragging. Yeah, and this is what I write. This is what I write right here. Started to get tired at it all in episode 30, where the female lead pretends to she pretends that she is proposed to by some other random guy that we didn't know about like 2 episodes ago, but he like came back. It doesn't matter, because the guy had lost his memories and she wanted to do everything she could to jog his memories, so she even had this fake thing. And actually they ended up getting married, even though it was supposed to be fake, because the guy was all like, I love her. Anyhow, they got it annulled.
You watched 40 episodes of this?
And this is the last thing I wrote. Some plot, no, the same plot is repeating. How boring! The writers, how could they be allowed to do this? It is just ridiculous.
It's because
as a viewer, I find myself less interested.
It's because you watch through 60 hours of it and they don't expect you to remember any of those hours from before.
How could you not? They listen, they have tried to do all the things. Okay?
Please don't tell me this got a season 2.
I think it does. I haven't watched it.
Well,
let me tell you what else is happening.
Daytime television.
After that, right? I did not write it, but someone gets sick.
Oh.
I know you were waiting for that part.
That kills everyone's parents.
No. He is the same guy who got in the brain crash, the male lead.
Brain crash.
I'm sorry. What did I say?
The poor brain.
Right, no. The male lead got in the plane crash. And he's the one who lost his memory. Anyhow, he got them back. But he's now got, I think, a tumor. So that's where the first season ended.
Yes, like the main character is going to get killed off or something. Yeah.
Anyhow, I just wanted to show you how exciting this show is.
I like how no matter where on earth you go, daytime television is the same schlock everywhere. Especially soap operas. It's the same. You could have said that this was Turkish or Spanish or Korean and said that it does all these things, and it's like, yeah, that's a soap opera.
Listen, I have seen.
I don't know why each episode is 2 hours or long. Jesus
Honestly,
Christ.
For the life of me, I can't figure out either.
Are you gonna watch season 2?
I have to make noise here. I have to make noise here so that people know that we're still here. I don't know.
Yes.
No, I feel like not doing it for real though. I don't want to, honestly.
But you're too curious not to try at least the first episode.
It's not even that I'm curious. They've tried to do so much.
I remember when you started this show, you kept coming to me talking about how the way how the main characters look at her.
Oh my god, exactly. I need to talk about the reasons why I liked it. I only was talking about all the tropey stuff that they did, right? The reasons why I love it is that one thing. Let me backtrack from there. I just want to say one more thing onto why I think that they actually shouldn't be together. Is that all of this stuff is happening to these guys. A year have only passed. Only a year has passed, Christopher, right? They are obviously star-crossed lovers. It's annoying to watch all of these things happening to them and not getting any rest and being happy for like 5 seconds. You get what I'm saying? And then somebody dies, and then somebody gets sick, and then the plane crash, and then it's just something, always happening.
It's called drama for a reason.
But I am being serious when I say that when the characters get arrested, it is literally one night. It's like they go to sleep after solving something, and they're all like, "Oh, I loved you, and we're together, haha." And then the next day, it's some junk happening to them lives again. You get what I'm saying? That's what makes it annoying. However, this is not a big however. This is a personal however. However, from the first episode, I just love the way that they look at each other. They're so smoldering. Okay? Like, when their eyes meet, I can feel that the passion.
You can feel it in the air.
Like these people should be together. And it turns out that they started to date after the show was like, airing something. They weren't together in the beginning, but they got together afterwards. I'm just like, yes, I know why. It's because how they look at each other. It's just so, you can feel like fire blazing, all the passion, all the everything is just like in their eyes. When they look at each other so lovingly. I just love it.
Is that like that scene in The Lion King when Nala gives Simba the fuck me eyes and they're playing in the jungle?
Right. So the two main characters, just beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay?
Hmm.
That's, well, when they look at each other, that's all.
So outside of those couple of moments, it's all drama bullshit.
There's one thing that I found really annoying, and I guess it was small, but it's so ridiculous to still be happening, is that the girl, the female lead, would tell the guy about the girl, that how she's evil and trying to do stuff and trying to break us up. Okay? And the
Okay.
guy continually saying, I know her, she's not like that. You know, she may be whatever, whatever, but she would never, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, dude, dude, this
You
woman
aren't with that woman
have
for a
the
reason.
crazy ass eyes. Okay? She can do anything. Listen, I did not write it, but there was a fake pregnancy.
I was about to ask if
I
anybody got
know you were.
pregnant.
I saw your eyes. I saw your eyes was asking me about the pregnancy. But there was one, right? I'm telling you, the show. That's why I think that's why people watch it, because they're like, what they're gonna do next, kind of thing.
Yes.
Because they like throw all the drama in there. It's like we gonna do everything. Anyway, so
You
he would
clearly
not
like it.
believe her, even though it keep happening and it turned out to be the girl.
Is this one of the
It
situation where the where they purposely made the male lead kind of stupid?
I hate that because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense with his character. His character is so sharp, so intelligent, so
On point.
yeah. He right. Listen, in business, why did they make it like that? They make it like how in business, he's the head of the company and he can call out when this person, like, who is wanting to be a partner or be an investor, like they would not be a good fit. He doesn't like their personality from the beginning, and it turns out, hey, this person is actually a douche. He was right. But when it comes to the females that are trying to get with him and break him up, and the female lead, he's all like, no,
Are
it's
this
nothing like
is it
that.
kind of
I'm
the
like, come the
situation where
frick
they're trying
on.
is it kind of the situation where they're trying to be like, oh, women are his like blind spot?
I don't know, but it certainly pissed me off.
Yeah,
It
that
pissed me off,
I've seen
Christopher.
that in like for both male and female characters where it's just like, no, listen to your significant other.
And
They're trying to
that
help
right
you.
there is something that's big in the show, trusting each other because of things that happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's really kind and she kind of believes in the good in everyone, but then
That's
there's
naive.
certain people, no, not like that, not like that.
Okay,
She's still a tough person and won't let stuff slide.
gotcha.
So, but because of the stuff that happened in her past and the people who were not good and kind to her,
Mm-hmm.
she still has that tough skin and approaches things a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
but she still is kind and trying to see the good things first. You
I see.
understand?
I
Before
see.
things looking bad. That's something about the two of them, though. And his character is a no trusting nobody kind of character until she comes along, kind of thing. Obviously, he was trusting like his business partners. They go way back from school and they made the company together, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But with them, that kind of communication, I hated it. And I wondered why it went on for so long. It's like they're getting to know each other. And really, from the beginning, with the fake engagement, they were kind of like, thrown into having to know more about each other faster for them from the first meeting.
The beginning seems really arbitrary. Why did he want to get the other lady jealous? For what? What was the main goal of getting his ex jealous?
That's the
That
thing. That's the thing. So there are two things, and I'm not sure if he ever did say it, but he wanted his ex, to
uh-huh.
break up with her fiance.
Why?
And I don't think it was that he ever wanted her back, because
He just
he
wanted to
didn't
get her
like the guy
jealous.
and he thought that the guy would be bad for the business. And it kind of, gosh. There's okay.
So in a
His ex is
way,
actually working with the business. She's the PR person for the business. They used to be together.
why did he fire
Okay.
her?
After she got engaged. Why would he fire her after she just got engaged?
Oh, I mean, well, why is he still around? Does she still work at the company after all this nonsense that she's pulled?
After all of this that I
Yeah,
just called out to you?
yeah.
No.
Oh.
No. She came back after. You know what? Christopher, I can't go over this. I can't go over this. Anyhow. I mean, I can tell you the whole story, but I just want to say that the guy is always stupid for not believing the girl when she can clearly see that all these other girls want his dick. And he's all like, no, this person, they're just blah, blah, blah. And the story, they're still trying to do that even in like the last episode with some other new girl. It's like,
It's
seriously.
like move past your basic plot. You've already done everything. You could do everything else. You can move their relationship to the next stage.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah? Give them a kid, for crying out loud. That's what they would do
I think
next.
there's a kid in the preview. I mean, it's not that I don't care, but
That's what I would do next. I
she's
would
probably,
have.
if any years pass by, which I doubt that several years pass by, it's probably like a few months
You know what
after.
they could do? They could do a whole thing with her being pregnant, him being doting all over her, like trying to have things,
No, they're
and
already
then
a
like
couple that's pregnant. It's his best friend. Um,
they could have
they
done
could
that.
do that. They had an episode where it seemed like she was pregnant, and that was actually during a period where they were broken up. But she wasn't pregnant. She was just sick, and he was all like, it. It was one of
Are
those
they
fully
even
comedic
fucking?
episodes. Are they what?
Are they even fucking
Yes, they're together.
together? Together?
They're together now, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying
Okay,
is
okay.
they had broken up because
Why?
couples have to break up
So
when they're
then get
together
back.
to get back together, to break up again to get back together.
I want to just break because this is just tedious.
Anyhow, let's move on. What else have you been doing? Oh, do you want to
Not
tell the
that.
people about your your Subway tuna theory?
Okay, I can't remember which country it was. That one of them in Europe was like Subway tuna isn't tuna, and they also were like Subway bread is technically cake, right? And I think a lot of people saw this. It was like a few weeks ago
What do you
about.
mean Europe?
I think it
It's America.
right. No,
What the
the
heck?
one in Europe was about the bread, about how their bread is technically just cake and not bread.
Okay.
And here in the States, it's like, hey, the tuna isn't tuna because we can't find any tuna DNA in it,
Right.
right? And my theory is that they acid wash the tuna when they're curing it to keep it, and that burns away the DNA within the actual tuna. So it's still tuna flakes. It's just that the DNA in it is dead and gone.
No, because of your theory, I actually did some
Oh,
research.
you did?
Yes.
What did you
And
find out?
you may be correct,
Oh,
but also,
I may be wrong.
yes. So let's start off with you may be correct.
Okay.
Um, there is this chemical called, when you acid wash what is it, food stuff, they
Mm-hmm.
use a chemical called hypochlorous acid, something like that.
Hypochloric acid?
It's not hypochloric, it's hypochlorous, okay?
Okay.
And it is food safe.
Yeah.
However, I was looking at one of they always have like these different studies about how other things affect other things. It's a scientific thing, journal kind of thing. And they were talking about how it affects the cells,
Yeah.
that specific acid. And it said that the DNA can become denaturated, which means basically that it is dead. The cells is dead. And you can't really tell what it is from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. However, on the other side of that, it may be just the cooking process killed the tuna
Well, I mean,
DNA. And that doesn't usually happen. You would say, okay, you'd be able to find some kind of DNA, something still there. I hear
yes.
you. And then that's where we go to our third thing, which is this. Subway says that they use 100% of this yellow, whatever tuna. Okay. They're like
Mm-hmm.
saying that they are certain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Subway may not be wrong. It could be Subway's supplier. And I watched a whole bunch of videos about how fish goes through different processes and you don't know what kind of fish it is. And you have to look at the fillet of the cut to see if it's the right one. And you don't know actually what you're eating from the store unless you get it like from the market, unless you get it with the head on and the fins and the tail and
Mm.
everything. You can't really tell when it's all cut up in the store. It's like so
They might be getting a different
it may
fish.
exactly. They are
Mm.
saying that they're certain of what they're getting, but it may be that through the whole supply chain and the labeling and all that
They're
stuff,
getting something
that
different.
they have been never getting tuna.
Well, I'll just make my own subs from now on
How do we know it's tuna?
because it says it's tuna on the tin.
That's what Subway says. How can we trust what the label says, Chris?
How can we trust anything in this life, Kim?
So what are we eating, Chris?
I don't know what we're eating.
See, that's the major question for me. If it's not tuna,
What the fuck is
what the
it?
heck is it?
Probably something else. Some other
Because
fish.
on their tests, like the New York Times and a whole bunch of other people did their own kind of tests, and they're like saying it's not tuna and it's not even fish. So
I
what
don't know.
is?
Turkey, maybe?
No, turkey doesn't taste that salty.
I don't know, dude. They need to figure that out.
For real though. That's like, I mean, that's like serious problem.
Next, you're gonna hear that their cheese isn't cheese.
That's gonna be a serious problem for me. I won't stop eating it in the meantime, but that's gonna be a serious problem. Okay. Anyhow,
I'm surprised you did so much research on some off whim thing I
I
told you
thought it was
about.
very on point though.
I don't know. I just remember seeing something about acid washing and keeping curing certain fish and whatnot. And
I don't
lutefisk
know
is like
if
the one they dip in. Like I can't remember which Nordic country that they do it in. The whole raw fish, but they acid wash it
I
for
don't
like
know,
months and
Finland,
months,
Sweden,
and then they eat
one of
it.
those.
And it's one of those weird things where people just it's I know it supposedly smells bad. It's like one of those
Yeah.
things where they just like leave out certain meats or whatever or bathe them in certain things for months on year. They eat it. That's where I got the whole acid wash idea from. Because
Mm,
I know that acid kills DNA, depending
right.
on how strong it is and whatnot. So that's what I figured was going on. But okay, cool. Their fish might not be fish. It might be mystery meat. For all you know, it might be horse meat.
It doesn't, I mean, I've never had horse before,
You
but I
don't
don't think
know.
it's horse.
You don't know if horse tastes like tuna.
I think horse would be more chewy
Not if you
and
just
less
cook it in
fall
acid.
aparty.
I fall apart.
Yeah,
Oh well, so you did the research on the tuna acid story.
I
Got
did.
anything else?
Um, Speaking of consuming things, or
Okay.
things to be consumed,
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking, wondering really recently what we're gonna do with all this coffee beans that we have
I don't know.
and coffee grounds.
Because we don't drink a lot of coffee.
You know, here's the
You want to
thing.
add them to the
This
show?
decaf, this instant decaf came into the house and we're like totally nearly through that. But the coffee beans that we have, it's like we have a coffee maker and we're like not using it at all.
I don't. Well, I don't think we ever talked about this on this show, but
What?
I don't really drink or
Oh,
like
yes, you said
coffee.
that.
Like, I used to drink a lot of coffee, but then when I started to realize that coffee does two things that I am not a huge fan of. A, funny enough, it makes me sleeping, so it doesn't even do the goddamn job that it's supposed to do. Coffee literally puts me to sleep. Two, Coffee makes you shit a lot because it's a diuretic and it loosens your balls. So the one thing I want to be doing is drinking that in large or big quantities because
Right.
my bowels, viewer, listener, are already loose enough. Okay? I
Well,
don't
mine
need
are
that
not.
in my life.
Mine are not.
Then you can drink all the
But
coffee
no,
you
I
need.
can't. There's a toss up for me as well. I can't do the coffee because I'll either get diarrhea, so super loose, or
Super loose.
or I'll get constipated. And I can't
Yum.
afford for it to be constipation on top of my already self-diagnosed chronic constipation. Okay? I can't handle that. My body can't. You know what I was thinking the other day? How is it that you have a really extreme poop one day? And I mean, your butt, you will think it cannot recover. Stop laughing for a moment. It'll be like the worst, and it'll be huge, humongous. And you'll be like, how did that come out of me in one go? Right? And then 2 days later, your butt is like back in action, kind of thing, like ready to go again. Don't you think the butt is amazing? That's what I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, the butt is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Listen, I keep saying it, but one day we're gonna have a full-on poop episode.
I don't know about that, but
One
sure.
day, the day is coming soon,
We're just gonna talk about shitting.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like an international poop day.
Jesus Christ, why?
So then we can talk about it on that day.
Ah, but still,
Exactly.
why?
Because.
Okay, you heard that, guys? Look forward in the future. A whole episode talking about the process known as shitting.
It's very important though.
Yeah, you can't do it if you're not alive.
Right? Okay. That's not why I was saying it, but okay, yes. There are many things you can't do if you're not alive, like breathe. But that's not really where I
I
was
think
going with
that,
that.
no, what I'm trying to say is that shitting is only something you can do when you're alive.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm
I don't
sorry.
know either. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're
You're the one
trying
who
to
brought up
say.
coffee and then went into shitting and
Listen, whenever you bring up coffee, it always leads to poop for me. So there's no way away.
I don't know, man. For real though, coffee really is not something I super enjoy. I don't mind an iced coffee. I don't mind, I guess, like lattes or cocoa coffee or whatever. I don't mind coffee with other things,
Right.
but I do not. I'm not a huge coffee drinker at all
Do you
anymore.
mean you don't like black coffee?
Oh, I never like black coffee. I always take it with sugar or and milk or
Yeah.
cream. But I just mean coffee. Just drinking it is depending on if the beans, on the type of beans, and if it's unique or it has a unique flavor. But coffee overall is not something that I'm like, oh, I need my coffee in the morning. No, I need a cup of green tea right now, ASAP. Get me the tea hot. Go.
Okay, so does that mean you don't have any suggestions for what to do with all the coffee grounds and
We
beans?
could do a this is what we could do. We could do a stretch where we talk about and have some coffee. We could do, even though this is called rambling tea time, we could do rambling
Wait, you
coffee
want us to
time.
drink coffee?
Yes.
I can't do that. I
We
just
could
explained to
we
you
I
how
don't care
detrimental it
about
is
your
to my
butt.
life.
I don't care. You'll suffer for it.
Right now, my butt is clenching
Look,
up.
stop. You will suffer through the coffee. We'll do a couple episodes where we
Christopher,
drink the coffee and
I'm
then we'll
not
do.
going to be a part of
Yes,
this.
you are.
No, no,
Yes.
Chris, I won't.
We
I
will do.
refuse, Christopher.
How about we do one whole episode where we just drink a bunch of coffee and then
What?
tier
No.
list them like we've been doing with the tea? Don't give me that face.
You drink them.
You will also assist.
Literally detrimental to my health.
Just throw out the coffee, Kimberly, if you don't want it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I mean, I don't want to throw it out. Let's make coffee pastries or cake or something, cookies, you
Coffee
know?
flavored things aren't amazing tasting to me. Well, when I did the cake a few years ago, I didn't completely like it.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
I did a coffee cake years ago. You see, it was that bad that you don't even remember it.
I mean, I have also done coffee cake and stuff, and I remember it not being bad.
Dear listener or viewer, look forward to some weird coffee shenanigans thing in the future, maybe. And an episode about shitting.
That's right.
I think that's all we have for today, yeah?
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. No.
Nothing else about their drama, nor shitting, nor
Ooh,
coffee.
no.
Okay.
Oh, I have one more thing.
What?
It's not a big thing, but
Hmm.
I don't know why. One day on YouTube, I just started watching an inked video, which is with the tattoos.
Okay.
And I just like snowballed into all of the tattoo
So you're into
videos.
tattoos now? Or
I
just
don't
like the
know, am
process of
I?
doing tattoos? Because there's a
Well,
difference.
it's so it'll be this is how the videos are usually are. It's the professionals who the tattoo artists, and they'll review some tattoos, or they'll talk about the things that they don't like in terms of styles and such, and you know, all kinds of things dealing with tattoos and all that. And I just found it really interesting for some reason. I don't really know. I don't even not even trying to get a tattoo. But yeah, tattoos.
Okay. I didn't know. You never know. I find weird shit on the internet all the time that just interests me.
Yeah.
Tattoos, huh?
I have one more thing on YouTube. I've been watching a lot of review videos.
Of what exactly? Reviews of
Um,
what?
so they're review videos, and you
Uh-huh.
know this guy too. His name is Alex Myers.
Do I
He
know this guy?
does, yeah. He has like a little cartoon himself, and he like does the review over with they're only like live people, humans. You know, they're not you get what I'm saying, right? They're not
I
cartoon.
got you,
He
I
doesn't
got you.
review cartoon stuff or anime or anything. He does like mostly like teenage like rom-coms or dramas,
Oh.
and it's so funny because he says, you know, I'm the perfect person to review these because I'm like a 30-year-old man. I'm like, yes, but the things that he says are so relatable as well to like in school and at the time, and all the different references, everything is
Yeah.
just hilarious. It's like I love the reviews. I've just been watching them for like hours, well, not hours, but
I
days, you
got
know. I
you.
just
I
watched
got you.
one every day or a couple days, and it's so funny. It's so funny. I just love them. Most of them he's like, this show is weird, or this show was the creepiest, or this show was the dumbest. And I'm just like, I agree with all of that.
Okay.
There are the rare runs where he's like, this show was actually pretty great, you know?
Okay.
And those ones I agree with too. I think are our taste match.
Okay.
Yours as well.
I barely watched teenage
No, that's
rom-coms.
okay. He reviews other things,
I
but
got
his
you.
opinions on those things are the same as we have as well,
Uh,
is what I'm
oh,
saying.
you should get him to review your Turkish show.
I thought about that actually, and I think we should. I
Oh
don't want him
God.
to like suffer and watch the whole thing.
80 hours.
It's definitely more than that. Um, but usually when he's watching the show he'll review the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Because there's no way that I would tell him to watch all of it. You got what I'm saying?
I wouldn't watch all of that shit.
Exactly.
You have to pay me money to watch that show.
Well, I did it. So, and I did it for free. So,
Mm.
where does that leave us?
It leaves us at the end of this episode.
I'm broke.
I hope you guys enjoyed and have a wonderful night. See you next time.
Good night, everyone.